sample of metals to check out how they react with water. Don't forget our basic aim, to find out the order of reactivity of these metals. If a metal reacts more vigorously with water, then it is said to be more reactive than the one that doesn't react as much. In general, metals react with water to form metal oxides and hydrogen gas. And if the metal oxide formed is soluble in water, it will dissolve to further form metal hydroxide. So how can we judge the order of reactivity based on their reaction with water? We perform a simple task. First, we take a beaker half filled with cold water and see how the metals react with it. Some of the metals will react with cold water, but most of them won't. Out of those metals which didn't react with cold water, we try to add them to hot water and see how they react. Again, some will react with hot water and some won't. Those that don't react with hot water, we see how they react with steam. And that will kind of give us the order of reactivity. Ones which react easily with cold water are more reactive, and the ones which required steam to react are not as reactive. Metals like sodium or potassium react violently with cold water. In cases of these two metals, the reaction is so violent that the evolved hydrogen immediately catches fire. The equations look like this. This hydrogen catches fire immediately after the reaction. That's how vigorous the reaction is. So we know that sodium and potassium are very reactive. Remember, we're still talking about reaction with cold water. How does calcium react with cold water? Well, calcium does react with cold water, but the reaction is not as violent as what we'd seen with potassium and sodium. The heat is not enough for the hydrogen to catch fire. But what happens is that the calcium starts floating because bubbles of hydrogen gas formed stick to the surface of the metal. And magnesium? Does it react with cold water? No, it doesn't. But magnesium reacts with hot water to form magnesium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. And just like calcium, it starts floating due to the bubbles of hydrogen gas sticking to its surface. The remaining metals we see here don't react with hot or cold water. But aluminium, iron and zinc react with steam to form metal oxide and hydrogen. And the other metals like lead, copper, silver and gold